Good late afternoon to you. I don't know if we say good evening at 4 o'clock, so, but you know what, if this was tomorrow, it'd be 5, so, good evening. So, the good news is we get to take a little stroll out of the everyday unordinariness of the Servants of Mary of the U.S., Jamaica, Canada community. We are live streaming for the sisters out of town, so you can turn around and wave to the camera in the middle of that door. They aren't going to actively participate, it's a live stream, not a Zoom, so. But they wanted to hear all of the important information that will be conveyed at this very prominent meeting this evening. So we're very grateful that Sister Chantal Mari was able to get in before the storm last night, rather than in the midst of it. She got in around 5 o'clock last night, and it is now 11 p.m. in her homeland. So be gracious and kind to her, as she would probably rather be in bed right now than giving a presentation. But we really do appreciate you coming and spending time with us. And we will enjoy our visit throughout the next week, having individual visits and then having her in our homes or our different places of being and enjoying different meals throughout that time. So without further ado, I think we're beginning with a prayer.
Hi, so you all have your prayer sheet, right? So I'll do the opening and then various ones of you have consented to read. So we'll just go through the prayer, and then Mary Chamberlain is going to lead us in the song, and then we'll close together. So we come together, as Lisa said, in joy and gratitude today, and focus really on the unity of our congregation. And I think we feel that unity among ourselves every day, and this is our opportunity to expand that feeling. So today we gather to celebrate the servants of Mary, present and past, near and far, united in one congregation. We pray in gratitude for the blessings we share: community, mission, compassionate care, and so much more. All are rooted in divine love, which unites us and sustains us.
Our communities, sharing the same charism and the same apostolic call, are united with each other in the congregation.
The ultimate mystery of being, the ultimate truth, is love. Love giving itself, losing itself, and finding itself in love, and love returning to itself. Giving itself back in love. This is the central pattern of the universe. There is a continual dance of love, a continual going and returning.
Our common love of Christ unites us to live out in community our search for God and our mission of service in the church.
The community of believers was of one heart and mind. No one claimed that any of their possessions was their own, but they shared everything they had. And God's grace was so powerfully at work in them that there were no needy persons among them.
Each morning, we must hold out the chalice of our being to receive, to carry, and to give back.
So that we may be truly one, we place in the service of one another what we have and are. We accept our differences as contributing to our unity, enriching the community.
We're simply going to sing the refrain 2 times.
And our closing prayer together. Divine giver of life, we thank you for the gift of each other. As one family bound by love, respect, and shared purpose, we rejoice in this moment of togetherness. We ask that our hearts always remain open, and that our compassionate actions reflect the unity you desire for us. Help us to remember that together we are stronger, richer in spirit, and more complete. May our unity serve as a light of hope to the world. Amen. So now we will pass around Chantal's presentation while she gets ready. And you can follow along. So she will present to you, and then there'll be a little bit of a break, and then Chantal will, if there are no questions, or after answering a few questions, then she's going to share some news of the congregation. So, if you wait just a minute.
Yes, yes, yes.
I will begin a little in French because we are the Canadian sister. Hello, my sister in Canada. And after, just I begin in English, but for you, the best, that will continue my speech in English is best for you, and for me too. And I choose don't ask Sylvia or another translator to come with me. And donc I choose to be alone for many reasons. It's expensive and it's a challenge for me and a challenge for you too. But I am sure we can speak and we can share together and do the little group. And we ask Mary to practice her French, and she repeats, she's prepared. Thank you, Mary, to help me. It's very dangerous for me to continue, but and perhaps I can say some word is not a good word, and it can be difficult. Like, thank you, Val, to the job. And another reason is I will speak, but it's with the counselor. It's a link with us, and we prepare that together. It's not just me; it's a group because together the counselor. You're okay with that? Val, you are okay, hein? Okay. Alors, tout d'abord, je tiens à vous remercier de cette opportunité de vous rencontrer dans cette nouvelle dynamique de vie dans laquelle vous êtes engagés. Et je sais qu'au Canada, nos sœurs vivent aussi une nouvelle dynamique, donc qu'elles sachent que je suis fort avec elles et que bientôt je viendrai pour les rencontrer, pour continuer cette visite. Donc, first of all, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to meet you in the new reality of life into which you have courageously and faithfully embarked.
It's better. But I control, huh?
Chantal is being modest. She actually speaks very well, very well. So, during a previous chapter, we all became aware that we were called to embrace a certain capacity for change. And we incorporated this into the chapter's decisions. I'm not sure we fully grasped at that time everything that was going to happen and everything that would challenge us and move us, whether in one country or another, or together as servants of Mary. Then came COVID-19, which incidentally prevented us from having in-person meeting during that term. But I have a very strong memory of the only visit I made and of the encounters with each of you. These encounters personally challenged and inspired me in my own consecrated life. And for that, I want to thank each of you. This capacity for change, which at that chapter was merely an intention, has proven to be a true path of faith and courage for all of us, and particularly for you in the USA. Like Abraham, who was told, "Leave your country," you have accepted to fully live this call to leave. In Hebrew, this verb to leave can be translated as go towards yourself. This, I believe, is the work you have undertaken with great faith and great hope, and which has also been magnificently supported by the Community Council. For before experiencing changes in your place of residence, it is a profound spiritual change that each of you has been led to experience. Here we are today at a new stage, a new dynamic of fraternal life that you are gently putting into place. The same is true for our congregation. This visit, as I wrote in the letter you received to introduce it, is a call for us to simply pause together and reflect on our common mission as a congregation, to share on the challenges we face as a congregation today in order to support each sister, wherever she is, so that she has what she needs to live her consecration, but also so that we can together address the challenges and issues facing our congregation. To take the time to listen to each other in order to adapt and return to the essentials together. How do we care for one another in an international context? How can we form a social body and live out international solidarity realistically? Based on this mandate given to the chapter, we have a duty to analyze what is working and what is not working in the congregation. What is our common mission as Servites? How can we support each other in living our charism of compassion and service? What meaning should we give today to the international and intercultural dimension of our congregation? This is a stage of life for all of us in the congregation, one that will give rise to a future we do not yet know, but which will be what God wills, if we share truthfully and listen with kindness. Throughout our history, we have experienced crises, fears, apostolic joys, and acts of courage. I invite you to reread the document on the 180th anniversary of our history. Each of us continues to be a part of this history. It is up to all of us to write our chapter of life for today, and it is together that we will write it. We are at a turning point in our respective countries, but also as an international Servite congregation. God does not ask us to remain on the sidelines, but to set out on the journey at our own pace and at the rhythm of the body that we form. I reiterate here this message from the LCWR. We must consider with the utmost seriousness and live our vocational call as consecrated women with a depth that perhaps has never been demanded of us before. A magnificent challenge for consecrated life today. It is our shared love of Christ that brings us together to live in fraternal communion, our search for God, and our mission of service in the church. Constitutions 12. Thank you to each of you for your fidelity to the Servite charism, your sister, Sister Chantal Mari. Questions for Chantal?
I thank you for coming and being with us together and in different occasions. But God bless each of us, because our transition has been difficult, but I have to say has been wonderful for some of us. But I want to share that with you because I feel it in my heart.
And I realize that the transition will live the same in another part of the congregation in the north, but in the south, perhaps in the same years, they will need to live the same, not the same reality, but they need to change, and the religious life now is not the same that we arrive. But for me, when we arrive, I don't realize when I was young, a long time ago, I don't realize at this moment that in the future I will live that I live now. But that is a reality, and for me and for us, for the last council and the new council, the most important is to continue together and to organize a life to continue together. The modality is different, but we are serviced together, And we need to reorganize your live together, to live your charisma differently now. We have old or we are young, you need to change. And for the young sisters, it's the same. I want to explain them, but it's difficult for them to understand that. But this is the reality. And thank you for, I am very happy to see you are happy. because it's a big challenge. And I realize it's not the challenge to change the place. The challenge is in our heart, in our reality, personal reality, to say, I need to change. And that is the most difficulty for each other. But thank you, because you do that together.
So, anything else? Any other? Oh, sorry, Sarah.
Chantal, thank you very much for your comments. I, in particular, would like to ask you about the two sisters that are on the Ivory Coast because of what we are hearing in the news, and Abidjan has been one of the points of attack. And are they not living close to that area, and are they okay?
Sarah, could you repeat who the people were that were in conflict?
It's from the war.
It's from the war. And who was attacking Azerbaijan? Okay. Il paraît que l'Iran, il est
In Côte d'Ivoire, non.
Azerbaijan.
Abidjan? No, at this moment, well, the situation in the world is fragile in each country now. But in Abidjan, the sisters, they live in the property with another community, and they protect them. And they work in the center to help the children of the street, who live in the street, and it's just near the house, so there are not problem for them at this moment. But the problem is in Butembo at this moment. But that is not good. In Congo, it's dangerous in this moment. But since many years, it's difficult.
One of the questions that you have on this paper really speaks to me. It says, what is our common mission as Servites? And I feel that with the move that we've had, that our compassionate presence is extending way out. The people that we live with have a lot of things they want us to pray for. And I can't begin to tell you how many of them have asked me, would you please pray for whatever it is? So I'm feeling that the compassionate presence that we have for each other has always been, but now I have the opportunity to spread that even wider.
Yes, I think the compassion is very, in each country where we live, we can do that. That is our charisma, for the racine of our charisma. But perhaps it's time to reflect, to live the compassion at the level of the congregation. And perhaps we need to have more contact, more information, more communication, to understand what is with the lives in another country. And perhaps we need to do more, comment on dit effort, on va peut-être faire plus pour mieux se connaître et mieux avoir de compassion en congrégation.
We already have done a lot to understand one another as a congregation.
But the first place to live the compassion is here for you. And,
Anything else?
What are the fears of the younger members of the congregation? What challenges do they face beyond living situations? How do they perceive our aging versus their yet to age?
That is a big question. It's a good question. We have two things. We have some young sisters who live in France with us. And in France, we have the same situation that you here for the Francophone sister. At the same age, I am the younger, not young. Donc they live. And for this sister, I spoke this question as this sister will live with us. What do you think? What do you... Voilà. And they say two things. We realize, they say me, we realize the beauty of the lives of the sister, the older sister. As they don't say the older, but the sister we here, and for them it's very important. But they realize too the challenge we have in this part, the challenge to the sister who they are healed, the challenge to continue the mission of the school, the challenge in our society. They realize very well the challenge. And the challenge is the life of the community. They realize the difficulty of what is very nice, but the difficulty in the relation between them. They realize all that. But they say it's very important and we need to take our place in this situation. They are very happy to take part of this situation. That for the sister, we live with us. And one younger sister, Sister Regine, she is with us since 2 years. And she shared with me 2 weeks before. She said, for me, it's very important to live in France a little time because she will return in Congo I think next year, in September perhaps. But she said it was very important because I realized the reality of the congregation. Because I am here. That is a challenge for the other sister and the majority of sisters in Butembo, and they don't very realize the realities. They know we have not a younger sister in USA. They know the reality, but they know in the head, not in the heart. And we work in Florence. We have many discussions, and you can share with that. They don't realize the challenge, particularly the financial challenge we have in our country, because they think in Europe, in America, we have no problem. We have the problem in Butembo, but no problem here. But that they don't realize very well. We need to help them to realize that because we need to do what you can't. Because if we don't work with them now, in 5 years, in 3 years perhaps, it's a big shock for them, and a big shock for us too. And to have some Congolese. Donc that is a challenge and a compassion we need to have together in the congregation, because it's a big challenge for them to realize the life in the north, and for us to realize the life in the south, and to prepare them. And we can share after, but I can say the challenge for us now is to prepare the leadership for the younger sister. But we realize too that the younger of the younger, they are very openness. Perhaps more than more than the first Congolese sister, not because in the head, but now they use WhatsApp. they use TikTok, they use more, they have many information, and it's not the same generation that we know, Mary, when we work together. The new group is not the same than the first, because they have the contact in the world. Sometimes they know the news before us, and before the responsible.
It's okay? You understand?
Is it too soon to ask, as we age and our resources diminish, will there be enough money or finances internationally for us to support the newer congregations?
Sarah says. No, I didn't say that for that reason. I'm giving you water.
I think it's a big question for Sarah and Noel. That is a big question to reflect, because we need and we work. Sarah work very, very strong with Noel to because that is a challenge. That is a challenge, and we have many questions. Oh, thank you, sir. The challenge is at many level. The challenge is to be sure that each country, each sister have what she need to live, and correctly. That is very important. Here in Congo, that is the first. We need that. The second part is we do that, but to organize very well the administration in each country to protect each sister, each system, and that is very important. To help the new leadership in 3 years or 5 years or 10 years, I don't know, to be comforted, to secure the administration in each country. And when we work with Sarah to that at this moment, she worked very hard. The question is, if you continue to have the Congolese sister in Butembo, and if we open in Ivory Coast, we share data, they can't have enough finance to live. That we are sure. In Butembo or in Ivory Coast, they can't. The question for us in the congregation, and we work with that about that, the big question is, what do they need in 5 or 10 years? We get the budget we can organize, and for to help, because we need to help. It's not possible. Look, what is possible for us at the level is possible for the country, because the money is not. We have the money we have, but because we are sure in Ivory Coast they can't live. Well, they work, but they can't live. No, we need to reflect the level we can in the congregation, and that is a big challenge for us at this moment, because we can say, we can help, but in 2 years, in 3 years, what do you do? Okay. And another difficulty is very, very, very difficult to transfer the money in country and another country. It's very, very, very difficult. Donc, we need to have all that to reflect and to take the decision, because the decision we need to be prudent, and for now, for all the sisters in the congregation, and for the future. We can say, oh, we have 1 million in one country, the million is for the Congolese. No, because the million, we need this million here. And perhaps we don't need the million, we need less, and we can share. But that is a part of the compassion together. What is possible and what is not possible. And they need to understand that. It's difficult for them to understand that, but you can share.
Well, I was just reflecting on the fact there's never been an answer to that question throughout the life of the congregation, if there would be enough money for all of our sisters. And it is about living our life of poverty and then also making sure that our needs are taken care of. And, you know, in the U.S., just with our two sisters, what we're looking at currently in regards to Sister Juliana and Sister Mary Hogan means that we have to do a lot of reflecting on what I sent to you today about that tension between the needs of each individual sister and the common good. So we're looking at that in regards to us as a community, but we also have to hold attention with that also is part of who we are in the congregation too. And so whatever our prudence is, hopefully will allow us to find ways to support the sisters in the Congo. But there's no assurance of how we can do that or any other country can do that, because we don't know what the future holds for us. And we just have to keep on doing the best we can and plodding along. And I think when we were in Florence, that was a little bit of an eye-opener for our sisters in the Congo, that the land of milk and honey is not really the land of milk and honey. And, you know, they talked about it's difficult to keep on asking for money. And I told them, well, she just said it. I told them, I think Sister Barbara feels the same way, because she's always asking for money. And I think you're not in religious life where you're not always living that tension and trying to figure out how do we work for the common good. And there's not going to be an answer until all infinity. If there's always a survey, there's always going to be a question.
Can I just add something to what you said?
Yes, it is around.
Now, don't write this down as if it came from the Bible, because I just want to share briefly, because some of you don't know exactly how I work as the congregational treasurer with my counterpart. She calls herself the assistant. I think it's the other way around. Noelle, who is going to be here, coming in Wednesday night, and we will work Thursday, Friday, and Saturday together, as we did last time. I'm sorry, Mary. As we did last year, we're working to develop a global picture, the Servite global picture of our finances, because we are very much aware, and even Noelle, who is a lovely, lovely woman, and not a servant of Mary, will say the primary is the care of your sisters in each entity. Our responsibility here is, as Lisa alluded to, are the sisters here. And our hope is that we will get a better picture so that Wang, not me, but the council and Chantal Mari will figure out the best route to go and what we could possibly afford in terms of even considering support of a new foundation. That information will be vital for the decision-making, which I understand will happen after June. In fact, the sisters on the Ivory Coast we asked them to submit a budget, not a yearly budget, but a 6-month budget that would take them to June, because we don't know, and we can't promise on a false premise. Sometimes what I think I said was clear, and that's basically what I wanted to share. I hope it was clear.
I was surprised to hear that in Cote d'Ivoire, the sisters will not be self-sufficient, that they won't bring in enough money even for them to live. Because I knew in Butembo that was the case. So I guess part of my question is, how do communities that don't have an international arm to send money, how do those diocesan communities of religious women survive, or don't they?
Dans les pays en Afrique où il y a des congrégations qui ne font pas partie d'une communauté internationale, comment faire?
Alors, for the congregation, we are not the majority of the congregation. We are not international community. They ask help the Vatican. Vatican help our many organizations to help them, and that they survive with that. But I work. Comment dis-je travaille? I work. Yeah, I work with some prayer general of the congregation who has the same situation of us, because we have many congregations. Some big congregation, they have the foundation and they can receive the money, they can, but for the little congregation, it's our reality. We can organize a foundation because we are not. Donc it's difficult for us to receive the money, I spoke with this prayer general, the Sister Reparatrici is one of this congregation. The Reparatrici, the several sisters, they are in Abidjan since 20 years. They say me, they are not autonomy. It will be since 20 years. I work with another congregation, the name is Congregation of the Sœurs de Nevers, with the congregation of Sister Sainte Bernadette in France. And she says same, and she said we are not. They need to. We need to help them. It's not very important since it's less than Butembo, but and at this moment we work the budget with every cost the two sisters, and they work. They receive the money because they work. They can work. They can have the job. It's easy for them to have the job. But with the job, they receive, alors je vais dire en français, 120 euros par mois.
120 euros per month, which is just a little over $120.
Okay. Voilà. Et the congregation, at this moment, for this year, on donne 300 euros de plus pour qu'elles équilibrent le budget.
And the sisters need to receive another 300 euros in order to have the budget that they need to survive.
We pay the location when they leave. No, that is the reality. We need to look at the reality. Well, we need more money in Congo. That is it's evident because I think in Ivory Coast they can receive more money by the job. In Butembo, no. But in the reality in Butembo, in this country, it's very, very difficult. And it's not tomorrow we change. Donc, but in every cause, we can receive more money. But it was not sufficient. But we need to see what do you need for them, for to continue to help them. And before to take the decision, in June or perhaps in August or September, I don't know, all the sisters in the congregation, we need to know exactly le plus exactement possible, more exactly possible, wow, more exactly possible the challenge, and we can say, okay, the challenge, we accept the challenge, or not, we can't accept the challenge. But we need to share. And thank you for the faith sharing, because, and thank you for you, but because I can say thank you for all the sisters in the congregation, because all the sisters in the congregation, they share very seriously this faith sharing, very seriously. You will receive, Val prepares a document, you will receive in 2 weeks? No? Sure. Before 2 weeks, because it's finished, we receive all that. You receive all the faith sharing in each country. The Congo, the France, the Belgium, the Canada, except Austria, because they don't do. But you will receive all things. We done reorganize that. You receive proof. All of you receive, because I think it's very important to know the reality, and what do you think the English sister, what do you think the French sister, what do you think the Belgian sister, what do you think the Canadian sister, and what do you think the Congolese sister? And the Congolese sisters, they will receive, what do you think the sister in the Congolese? You have something that is not, well, it's a reality. And after that, it's better to take the decision. But we need to play, because it's complex situation.
And isn't it true too, though, if we would say no, we can't finance Côte d'Ivoire, the Congolese sisters in Butembo need to expand somewhere. So the process would start all over again. And is it also true that anywhere on the African continent we would have to subsidize? So even if we said no to Côte d'Ivoire and we say choose another place, we would still have to look at helping them. Yeah. So that's the reality.
One thing is sure, we need another place for the Congolese sister. That just simple reason we have no place for the sister in Butembo now. It's finished because all the house is full. Because every year we receive some sister and it's full. We have no room. We have no room now. Now we need, and for them we need, but that is a challenge. That is a big difficulty. But we need to be realistic too. That we need we have two situations. We need a new adventure for this sister, and in the past we do that. But the reality in the past is not the reality now. And you will receive another document after. If you don't sleep the night, we have many things to read in some day. Because we receive another document, which is Marie-Thérèse prepares, the archivist prepares that, and I think it's in 2 or 3 weeks it's finished too, to explain the history of the beginning in Jamaica, what is the challenge in the beginning in Jamaica, the story of the beginning of Guatemala and Peru by the Canadian sister, and the beginning in Congo, and Jean-Baptiste prepared a document, and you will receive this to remind the story, what was difficult, what was good, and we realize, and just one thing, we realize the difficulty, and this was not good, when you had no priest here? No priest. When the priest asked to the sister to come. It was very difficult under some country when the bishop asked to take our school with the bishop. But we need to understand what was the difficulty and the challenge as is meant to another document we will receive that to see the foundation. But we need to continue. But the decision will be hard. But we need to propose the younger sister to the new way too. They need the new way. They need to continue. They love the charisma. They love it, and they need the new place to share the charisma. And this is our future for us too. But sometimes it's difficult for me to speak like that.
In the materials that we used for the faith sharing, it talked about buying property in order to build, like, I think at a cost of about $500,000. Is there something in between that and where they are now, so that we could either rent or buy a used building that's already there that would be less than that kind of money, even to start?
That is when the two sisters was in the prospection, Sifa and Sagesse. I asked them to prospect is a possibility to be in the first thing they say when I went in Ivory Coast, they say me. Everybody say us, if you come, we need to buy a house because and she proposed me to visit because she visit one house and she said it's good a house, it's good we can and we need to decide because c'est une opportunité, one opportunity. But now, when continue to reflect for us, I think it's not a good way. It's not a good way to begin to buy a house because we don't know the future. Because I think now it's not a good way to buy. Perhaps to have the location for one time and not to buy immediately one house in Ivory Coast. I think, but they are enthusiastic. Renting. Renting. It's not location. Renting. No, I think it's best. It's the best way if we decide to go to for 1 year or 2 years, and after but for them they understand. For them it's okay. When we was in Florence, because I was in Abidjan just before, and when I was at Abidjan, I say them, okay, we have the prospection is finished. We know we can have the job. With the reality, we can have the good mission. It's good for our charisma, for many things. It's okay. And I said during the meeting with in Florence with the other sister, we present the report and we decide what the way we continue. And when we was in Florence, Consolé, she's a delegate, the president delegate. She doesn't understand what when we finish our meeting. It's okay. We open in Ivory Coast. I say no. I am sure the sister in Congo. When I come back, they need to understand. We decide it's okay to. She did, no, I don't say that. I don't. We reflect, we share, and we take the decision. And yes, it's a decision. We come. No, the decision is by all our group. The decision is you take 1 year with all the sisters of the congregation to share, to reflect, to raise the finance, to reflect, and with many steps during 1 year, and in June or perhaps in July, perhaps we take a decision. But not now. That is a decision. We take a decision. The decision is you need 1 year more to reflect with all the congregation. That is. But it's difficult for them because they are young. They are young. Donc they want to. Hey, it's okay. Donc we need to. Alors, je vais dire, Anita, on a l'impression de tenir des chevaux en furie.
Les chevaux en furie.
De tenir des chevaux en furie, des chevaux.
Oh, we're on runaway horses.
But it's normal, it's normal.
Well, if you already answered this, I'm sorry, because some things I missed, but we talk a lot about having enough money, and that's important, very important. But what about enough people for leadership? Are we looking at that? In our community, in France, in England, in the total congregation, how many people do we have left who can be in leadership?
For me, it's finished in 3 years.
That is the second challenge for us in the congregation. Is a challenge, and yes, that is a big challenge, big decision, because we need more sisters, and for the younger sister, with the council we decide during these 3 years to organize the formation of the leadership for the younger sister. I hope to go in Uganda in July with Marie des Anges and to begin formation of leadership, local leadership, but to see the sister who has the possibility to be in the leadership in the future. And we continue with some during these 3 years with a formator. We need to organize that to prepare, but
Do you mean vocation, ministry, formation of young sisters?
we have leadership formation. The affirmation of leadership, because we have the formation for novitiate, but it's, the challenge is to feel what sister has the possibility to be a future leader. And the second challenge is the cultural difficulty for them to relieve the challenge. And we have some sisters who are okay, but we need to prepare them. And perhaps we need to, during the 3 or 5 or 6 years, to figure out a new process for the government in the congregation. And that is a question we work with Rome. I wrote, we have a committee of chapter. We have many questions about that. What is the possibility of leadership in our congregation, and we need to reflect that, because on peut inventer, comment on dit inventer,
We could put together something.
Yes, we could put together something for the future, but that is a second big challenge. Because the reality is here. The reality is in each country. In each country. And we need to reflect that, because if you don't reflect that, and if And many sisters need to reflect if I can to participate to the leadership. Because if you done that, Rome take place. And no, no, but we need, many congregations have the same situation, and Rome realize we need to change the system. Perhaps we need 3 counselors. Perhaps we can ask to Rome, not 3, but just 2. But we can ask perhaps many things, but it's a big question. It's a very big question because in the last chapter there's this question. We begin with this question at the last chapter to have the counselor or to have the. But in the next chapter, the question is more important. Welcome if you want. Welcome to take the place.
Is it possible that in the future there would be a mixture of lay and religious leadership? Like we have.
Could there be, est-ce qu'il y a la possibilité d'avoir une laïque qui font part de la leadership?
Canonically, canonically, bref, you understand. No, but we know to be the leader, to have the superior general, no, but to work in the counselor, yes. But I know some congregation with the treasurer. The sister has a name to be the treasurers, but the lay people, you organize everything. Donc to work, and that is a way to work more with the lay people. And we work, Sarah works with Noel, and that Rome accepts that, it's okay. But we need, and we can have, I think when congregation have in concern, when another congregation to help. But the leader, the prior general, is kind of, but
We need a break.
you need a break.
Okay, let's take a 10-minute break let's come back at 5:15, and then we'll have general news presentation on the congregation, different areas. Okay. Also, I want to tell you a little secret. Chantal mentioned her, not being so young twice. Just a little secret. In June, she turned 70. Big birthday.
Join the crowd.
Since I have the religious, I have the younger.
Or it's back that way. Back that way. Beds are free. Same plumbing. Ours, not theirs.
In our history.
I don't know. I think she's wound up. I think this gives her energy. Yeah. But she slept well last night.
Where is she staying?
With me.
Oh, okay.
We're getting another piece of sugar. Yeah. But this'll be, and this has been a so there will be an apartment.
Merci, ma soeur. It's not. It's good for you. It's good for me.
I didn't
Yeah, they talk about our residences.
So independent, huh?
When you're eligible for that.
They'll still go to heaven. Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Oh, I did say, like, step back or something. One of these, and there were cards in my mailbox. Yeah. Well, it was kind of like a shirt tail that we could not find. When I did it,
But I mean,
yeah, I am not going. Now I don't know where it's a long time now. That is just, yeah, whoever is trying to get it the big.
yeah, okay, so there's. I'm surprised there was no you use the other
we had it that's how it got short. Because you can't
Good thing.
anyway, I understand what you're saying, yeah. Yeah. And I did, it is possible, I said something different.
Could we gather back together? Everybody should have a copy now of the document that says news from the congregation. Should be in the middle of your table. Raise your hand if you don't. Okay. All right, Chantal.
I begin in English and after she continue. I begin by RDC, or DRC in English. The political situation remains unstable, and at this time, it is impossible for us and for me to go to Butembo. We plan to organize local leadership training session by meeting the sister in Uganda as it is fairly easy for them to cross the border. We will set up a 2-year training program. We will also need to review the governance team and work with the sisters to help them become a community. And thank you, Mary Geringer, to participate to prepare a descendment to help them to reorganize the new team in Congo. You read all, or you for each you need some?
Just go through it.
Okay.
In the United Kingdom, we have worked together during several in-person meetings to find the most suitable structure. We now have the structure of an entity with one sister responsible for pastoral care accompanying each sister, which is Sister Marie-Therese, and a sister in charge of animation, Sister Catherine Ryan. Sister Val as an advisor is the liaison with the Congregational Council. In France, Belgium, a sister is also in charge of animation, Sister Marie-Françoise Kitsanula, and a sister coordinates ongoing formation.
Well,
What?
animation.
Animation is, one aspect is getting the sisters together when possible for faith sharing or for meetings, that kind of thing. Paying attention to when a letter comes out that the sisters have it and that kind of thing, yeah. And living out community together. Thank you, Lisa. Okay. The sisters may also be in contact with an advisor, which is Sister Marie Elizabeth. In Austria, our 2 sisters are doing well and are well supported by lay people. Sister Michelle and I handle all administrative and financial matters, and we have put a plan in place for when our sisters are no longer here. The sisters there are now 100 years old and 97 years old. Sister Marie-Therese, who speaks German, also visits the sisters. Our work dynamic. The goal of the Congregational Council. We are aware of the urgency and the call to prepare the future of the congregation. Rooted in the identity and spirit of the Servite charism, we try to take into account the diversity of life realities today. Fulfillment, development, ecclesial life, and life in the world. We are aware that we must all work together to meet the challenges of the congregation. Our challenges are significant, particularly in several areas: supporting all generations, leadership in the coming years at all levels, and thus structures adapted to each. Committees are working on various topics. Thanks to Sister Sarah and Miss Noelle Lugani for their work on finances, which will help us gain a clear vision of the financial reality. It is a major challenge, but an essential task. Finances serve the mission, and we must have an accurate understanding of the reality throughout the congregation and a knowledge of the needs. An administrative committee worked with representatives from each area to gain knowledge of all the administrative structures in our countries. Thanks to Sister Sarah and Trudy for actively participating in this work with people from Europe and the DRC. A committee to reflect on the organization of the next chapter is working while taking into account our congregation's reality. Sister Lisa worked on this committee, and now we have questions to ask the dicastery in Rome and proposals to make to further address our needs in leadership. For the reflection we must undertake in the congregation on a possible opening in Côte d'Ivoire, 2 committees are currently working. One committee to establish a discernment process for our Congolese sisters. Sister Mary Geringer is working on this with Sister Catherine Ryan and Sister Marie Consolet. A second committee is working with Sister Sarah and Mrs. Noelle Lugani and the treasurers in the DRC and in Ivory Coast. The goal is to have a clear vision of the financial needs coming from the congregation. The faith sharings offered to the entire congregation will also provide everyone with elements for reflection and discernment. This is the first time we are conducting discernment across the whole congregation on a project for the establishment of a Servite Foundation. And we need all of you to contribute your ideas and your prayers. The working method of the council. We have video meetings very regularly, almost once a week, to share updates on various day-to-day management matters. We also work regularly with a coach, Miss Virginie Allard, who helps us think about fundamental issues. We have also started working with an extended congregational council as requested by the chapter. Working together in this way is essential to move forward collectively. Our reflection is always aimed at preparing the future of the congregation, co-creating and fostering the conditions for life to find its way. We will schedule another session with representatives from all parts of the congregation, likely next November. Communications. This is an area we always need to improve so that life flows between all of us. Our newsletters and annual report try to provide you with as much information as possible. Letters sent on the occasion of holidays are also ways to support each other spiritually. A calendar of holidays and birthdays is also given to each sister. This also helps maintain a connection with each one. Thank you to each of you for everything she brings, not only to her sisters and all those she accompanies and supports, but also to the entire congregation, because each one is precious, and we complement each other in living our charism wherever we are. Sister Chantal Mari. So questions at this point? You asked a lot of questions already in reference to this, really, even before hearing the news, but are there any lingering questions? Sarah.
You continue to be the trainer.
Yeah, I'm not quitting yet.
The question that I had in my head prior to this meeting, but then again, in the end of our last part of it today, it was mentioned that in Butembo there is no room, and regardless of what decision is made regarding Cote d'Ivoire, that the sisters would expand somewhere. So my question is, in the past, and this probably comes from our experience when Justina became a member of our congregation, of our community, difficulty in her community in Africa, as I recall, was because of she was a different tribe. Like I would say nationality, my nationality was different from Mary's. Sister Justina, when she came to the States to be educated, she had been in leadership in their community, but when she went back after the education, she was not accepted, and there was great discord because she was not of the same, I don't know how you call it, if it's a tribe or a nationality. Tribe? Explain. So my question is, do we have concern about that, regardless of where the sisters go?
I ask the same question as a Congolese sister. And they say, oh, we are open. But I explain, we are okay. But I realize when because last year I will go I went in Côte d'Ivoire for 3 times, and I realized the adaptation of the Congolese sister in this culture, because it's not the same culture. In Ivory Coast, it's not the same, but they are okay of that. Donc they begin, but because in the past, all the sisters were not the same. Comment ils sont quoi? Nande. The name is Nande. All the sisters are not Nande. You remember? They can't continue in Butembo. But when they are in another country, it's better. I realize that too in France, because in France we have 3 sisters. They live in France now, and they have many contacts with all the African people in Paris and the region in Paris. They know many sisters, and not just the Congolese sister. No, they can't when they are not in this country. But that is a challenge for them to accept and to read. And my problem, but if you receive some youth, the young in Ivory Coast, the formateur, they are nurse, they are Congolese, and that is a big challenge, you see. That it will be the big challenge for them. But they need to have some challenge too. But it's a challenge, because it's an obligation if the formateur was Congolese. And voilà, it's a challenge to be a formateur in Congolese in Ivory Coast. I have not the response of that, but we realize that it's difficult. And also we realize it's difficult for the this RDC sister to receive the sister in another country. But the new generation is the same. The new generations, they are more openness and stuff. But when they say the sisters, one example, the sisters they study in Paris for the theology, and 2 years before the head director convoked us, the responsibility, to share about the student. And they ask us, the sister, if you have the African sister who study here, we ask you to say them, to have the contact, the good contact with another culture. Because we realize that when we have some African sister in the center, they live together, and that is very important to have the contact with another country. But now we realize it's okay, because I spoke with the Sister Regine, she studies now, and Marie Desanges, she works in the center, and the situation is not the same. They are more, because those, I think it's good, but it's a challenge for them. Just for explain, when we say for some part of the congregation, the animation, because we organize in 2 parts, the 2 entities, we have the same structure, and for the animation, it's to be the link with each community. One sister is a link for the sister, and to organize a mini meeting together, to organize the formation, and to organize the link with diocese, or the link for the LCWR here and COREF in France. And that's a sister who has a link, and they work. But the 2 sisters, they work together. And the other sister in UK, they are the other sister, Marie-Thérèse, has the responsibility to accompany each sister in her life. And Catherine organized the meeting. And in UK, they have each Sunday, they have Zoom to pray together. Each Sunday, they pray together by Zoom. And that's all when we need an animation, and to link with the congregation, when we receive the message, Catherine translate, and she will be sure that all the sisters receive the message, and that is the role, and to respond to those questions. We need to invent the structure. We need to to understand. Structure is difficult. En français, structure. In English, it's difficult. Structure. Bon, you understand. The situation in Austria is complex too, because it's just two sisters, but the older sister, she's very well, more than the other sister, but it's very, very fragile, because I think in 1 or 2 years, it's finished in Austria. And I went next month? I went in Austria last month and share with the lay people. We organize the life of the sister, and I said we decide together when one of the two sisters die, the other sister will go in the house medical because we can't to continue in a big house for just one sister. We choose to continue for these two sisters because when Magdalena died, it was not possible to decide. It was so hard for them because the life of these two sisters is a marvelous sister. In the morning, they take the breakfast, they will go in the chapel, they pray, you have the lunch, you sleep a little time, we go to the chapel to pray, and the dinner, and go to bed. Every day. That is the life. And when we have the lunch, if we are here and we spoke with the people, the older sister, we need to pray. Because it's a time for her to go. She is very strong, and but we organize. Michel and Marie-Thérèse we go to organize to take time with them, and many of the lay people help them, and this is good. But
what are their names, Chantal?
Gabriela and Gabriela and Ugolina. Gabriela is older, but is very strong woman. Ugolina, she said, okay, Gabriela. But the lay people say me, if Ugolina died, if Gabriela died before Ugolina, it will be very hard for Ugolina. Ugolina died, I think for Gabriela, she can't continue to that, but in another sense, it will be very, very hard because Ugolina, she is, and he said, Magdalena says every time Gabriela, sometimes when she lived together, she said, Gabriela, I am the prayer. It's not you. That is I am the prioress. It's not you, it's me.
Which one is 101? Is that
Gabriela is one of them.
Anything else before we wrap up? Okay. Lisa is on her way to get the pizza for dinner, so that's great. And she should be back, I don't know when. But in the meantime, there's snacks out, and we can just hang up.
Drinks out and stuff.
Yeah, okay, we'll put the drinks out and stuff, Mary says, so.
Thank you for your patience.
Yeah, thank you very much. This is very educational and uplifting, and yeah, Thank you very much, and thank you for your questions. Those were great questions, and it really elicited a lot more information, so.
Le conseil, we have the song. Perhaps you can, no, don't sing. But we have no, we don't sing. But we have a hymn, comment dire? We have the hymn. We have a hymn for our group, and is we are going. We don't know where. We are going, but we don't know where. We are going, but no, we know we are going. But we go, we will get there.
Don't Charlotte.
Hello, hopefully you're in, oh, don't eat those desserts yet.
Life is short. Eat
Okay,
dessert
well, we
first.
just moved this along. We ate the hors d'oeuvres before we started, and now we're, okay. But, well, no, that's okay. It's just, there's a little bit of a plan with the dessert piece, so. So our pizzas are here. Unfortunately, it appears that Domino's does not mark their boxes as what they are. So, it is. So there's 9 different pizzas over there. We have 2 gluten-frees, one's a vegetarian and one has hamburger and other stuff on it. And we have salad as well. So watch the cans of pop because they are a little frozen. And you might want to try drinking the 2 liters before we go into the cans of pop. So let's just say a quick blessing over our food. Oh, and we have chocolates from Belgium, and that's going to be part of the dessert as well. Oh, French. Oh, sorry. From Francais. And gelatin's from Francais. Yes, France. And so we pray, bless us, O Lord, in these gifts which we are about to receive from your bounty through Christ our Lord. Amen. We will be making a couple other announcements a little later on. Bon appetit.
Yes. Too good to us, Lisa.
Better turn off the live stream.